There must be something in the water. There is no culture in history that has risen to its maximum potential when there was not family as the nucleus of importance, okay? So this is why the dialogue surrounding relationships and family is negative and divisive when it comes to media. It's no coincidence that you're seeing these gender wars at play, because we are actually experiencing an existential crisis for the black family. Okay, we are deeply rooted not only from a historical standpoint but economic challenges, and these things have been compounded by the role of media manipulation and propaganda. All right, so this particular crisis is reflecting a struggle with us getting into a sense of identity and also resilience, because centuries we have been operating from survival mode, from systemic oppression and also cultural erasure. So let's get a little bit more into the historical context of all of this, okay? The black family has endured centuries of not only dislocation but fragmentation, okay? We know the story, and many of our families were deliberately torn apart. So now in this current society, we're seeing a sense of lack of family cohesiveness, and that is not by coincidence. This was something that has been systematically put into place to keep us in a position where we're like fodder for so many other people, but it's taken away from our families, okay? Including certain adversities as poverty, mass incarceration, and also systematic racism. Yes, it is still a thing. So as media is being used as a tool of propaganda, we have to really realize in the way in which we contribute to this. So when there's these think pieces that's out here, or these podcasts where it's centered on breaking each other down, we have to realize that we're contributing to modern day portrayals of propaganda. That is an aspect of still being conditioned with certain things as the absent father when it comes to the trope of black families, okay, and the erasure of black men. This is irresponsible to continue to carry on this type of dialogue, because that was what was done to these men. They steal the men, they put the men out in different situations, and then laugh that you don't have a father. That's gaslighting. Another aspect is promoting dysfunction over success. Now, these media narratives frequently highlight being dysfunctional, being ghetto, being hood as a sense of connection when it comes to family. So just because you may have survived crime and poverty while downplaying stories of love and resilience and success, this is creating a skewed perception that undermines our culture of richness and wealth and the strength that it took for us to overcome so much. Another thing is glorifying consumerism and individualism. Now, mainstream media often glorifies consumerism, hyper individualism, and this is a way in which it's eroding our interdependence on each other. Okay, this shift can bring about major changes instead of us relying so much on feeding into a capitalistic system, when we understand that by separating ourselves from that, being more careful about how we allocate our resources, then we can also strengthen our families and also create a legacy. All right, another aspect is criminalizing youth. Okay, so we're just going to focus on these 4 points for now. And the criminalization of youth is constant when it comes to media portrayals. And it is also seen as something to be entertained by. So we're also being entertained by our own demise and depictions of threats to society. And this is something that has been targeted us to be policed and to be incarcerated. So continuing to feed the system. And this is a direct impact on the nucleus, the family structure. And this is affecting our homes. Now, we can shed light on the impact of propaganda, okay? Because it is definitely a deep existential crisis that the black family is going through. And it is not only eroding our self-perception, a sense of community cohesion, but also the broader perspective that the public and other demographics see us as. We have to keep in mind that we are the parent race. So as unfortunate as it is, where it seems as if people will love to imitate us, but they do not want to be us, it is a mind-boggling situation. But again, as being the parent race, we hold a very special burden to correct certain things that we see wrong within our communities, no matter how much these things have been affecting us from external factors. Because a lot of times we are operating from internalized oppression. Okay, the continual exposure of negative portrayals is internalizing the isms, and we can go through all of those, but I digress. Another aspect is policy justification. So the negative media representations are often used to not only justify harming us, they're also incentivizing different people, different celebrities, okay, in order to portray that it is okay to harm us. It's okay to, put us in a sense of not only lowbrow or low vibration things, but also media propaganda that contributes to economic disparities, limiting opportunities, and also reinforcing that we should be discriminated against by us discriminating against each other. Now let's get into the resilience and resistance of it all. So despite any of the challenges that we've gone through, keep in mind we are the parent race. We're the first, the last, and the forever. That's just what it's going to be. So we have this ability to be resilient. So we need to also understand that by resisting the narratives that have been placed on us, we can begin to celebrate our heritage, uphold our cultural standards or create them, and also be sure to amplify our authentic experiences. People that speak of the trauma or the devastating things that they've experienced, those are loud stories when it comes to media. But very rarely do you hear of positive experiences or success stories when it comes to relationships. We need to also highlight those things to bring out more so of an equal balance of our culture instead of shining the light on negativity always. This is how we could take away the constant indoctrination of us seen as the boogeymen of society. That could be the furthest from the truth. So moving forward, to address this particular crisis, it is essential for us to continue to amplify positive messages, narratives. You can never oversaturate when it comes to positivity, because as you can tell, there's a highlight on negativity. So by highlighting successes, complexities, okay, you know how people are throwing parties for people that are released from jail and stuff like that, which is good that they're released, but what about those that actually make it through college or grad school? We should be having parties for those people, okay? Think about that. Supporting also positive aspects of us in media instead of just coming together around funerals or times where we're grieving, okay? This is how we can also bring about a sense of healing when it comes to our community and our families in general. And another thing too is advocating for change. So if there are situations where you could be of help or assistance to those that are in need, if you got it, it's important that you allow yourself to know that you are meant to also share and help alleviate the burden that a lot of our people are struggling with, okay? That's the only way we're going to get ahead of this, and we have it. We have the ability to do it. We are the parent race. And so however the advocacy comes forth with you, understand that you have the ability to impact change. It doesn't matter how small of a contribution that you put out there, but simply by being more positive opposed to negative, you're beginning to create a new legacy. That's all I have for now. Like and subscribe. Bye.